Hello and welcome to 190314 Legal Issues in Aviation. Congratulations on your decision to take this course. I think you'll find it very useful, but also quite different to the other papers that you will have taken in your degree so far. We will look at a lot of different issues which will impact on your career, whatever it might be within the aviation industry. If you are a pilot, then of course you have to comply with a lot of legislation, including the rules of the air. And we will look at the source of those rules and how they fit into the international system. If you are working for an airport, you will have to comply with environmental law wherever it is in the world that you are working. And we will look at how environmental legislation impacts on airports, and certainly if you want to focus on that, you will be able to do so in the research essay. And finally, if you're working for an airline, you'll need to know a lot about ticketing and liability issues, how a contract's formed, those sorts of matters, all of which we will look at to some extent in this paper. The course is divided up into two parts. Part A looks at how the law works from first principles, really just gives you those basic building blocks to understand the law. And we'll look at the law, aviation law in particular, through the lens of 4 different countries, not New Zealand obviously, but also Australia, Singapore and the United States. And this just reflects the international nature of the airline industry, the aviation industry in general. Australia and New Zealand have an open sky, and so there is a lot of crossover between the two countries. And of course, Singapore is a very important hub airport within our region, and we have a number of students every year who are studying this paper or this course in Singapore. And then, of course, we have the United States of America, which is the world's largest aviation market. So you'll need to understand a bit about how the law works in each of those 4 countries. The intention of Part A is to give you a framework of understanding so that you can look at a specific legal issue affecting aviation in a lot more depth in Part B of the course, where you will write your research essay. Part A is assessed by an exercise. This is your first assignment, and it poses 15 questions. You have to answer all the questions. There is no word limit. You just simply answer the question in a concise manner. Sometimes you can do that quite briefly, and sometimes some of the questions will require you to write a bit more in order to give me the answer. I won't actually be assessing you on your level of English or your essay writing skills in the exercise. It really is just a question of whether you understand the material. Now, what it will do, though, as I've found in many cases in the past, it will indicate to me whether you are one of those students who struggles with English writing skills. I know that we will have a number of students in the course for whom English is a second language, and that you might have difficulty there. If you do, if it becomes apparent to me that you are having difficulty with that, I will let you know. And I do encourage you to seek assistance from the university services that are there for people who have difficulty with English as a first language. So once we've got the assignment, the exercise completed, I will send everybody feedback as a general class, general feedback on how everyone's gone and areas where people could improve. And at that point, you will then, of course, be heading into the mid-semester break. When you come back from the mid-semester break, you will be starting your work on the research essay. Now, there are a number of possible topics which are listed in the course guide, and you can choose any one of those you want. You don't have to come back to me and ask me for permission or tell me which one you want to write on. However, there is also the option of you choosing your own topic, so different to the ones that I've suggested. And if you want to do that, then you need to come back to me and ask for my approval for the topic that you would like to write on. The research essay topic, research essay, is actually quite a different assignment to the exercise. This is a fully fledged exercise, a fully fledged essay writing activity, and you will require quite advanced essay writing skills in English to succeed in this assignment. It will have, there is a style guide that you will have to comply with, the New Zealand Law Style Guide. You'll see that mentioned in Stream, and there's a link to the style guide in Stream. So we do not use the APA style guide in this course, simply because it's a law course, and the New Zealand Law Style Guide is much more suitable for writing on a legal topic than the APA guide is. So hopefully that's a reasonable introduction for you as to how things will work in this course. Now, in terms of contacting me, I'm more than happy to field your inquiries or help you as much as I can. There are a number of ways you can get hold of me or talk to your fellow students. There's two forums. One is the news forum, which I will use to send you information as it comes to hand that you need to know about. So, for example, after the exercise, I will send feedback via the news forum. Then there's also a discussion forum, which is primarily there for you to talk to your fellow students about aviation law issues and use that as a collaborative tool. I will look at it periodically, but I'm not the moderator of that forum at all. And I just ask that you are respectful to each other, and you'll see on stream that there are some guidelines about how we should be communicating with each other, both between yourself and me, and also between the students on the course. And that's, again, just being respectful and those sorts of matters. There's also a private student lecturer chat option as well. So if you want to just talk to me, if you want to get my guidance on something privately, then you use that. The situation for those of you, obviously you've all been at Massey now for a couple of years, and previously there were emails and things floating around, and the university's decided that from now on, from this year, all of those communications need to go through Stream, through the private student lecturer chat. It's just so that there is a record of all of the conversations, and also if I'm unavailable at some point and someone needs to get hold of the record of what was being discussed, then that can be done by someone else in the university. So I think it's going to be a really interesting opportunity for you to learn about something which really does impact on every part of the aviation industry, whether it be the tourism sector, airline operators, airport staff, flight crew, engineers, you name it. The law impacts on every part of this aviation industry. And so you will know more about it at the end of this course than you do now, and that's got to be a good thing. So welcome, and I'm sure we'll be in touch very soon.